Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. I'm your host, the Lost Chevalier, and you're welcome to the Pale Beyond. The developers were kind enough to send me a key, so we're going to test it out. Let's take this game for a spin, shall we? Start a new expedition. Branches 1 out of 40. Ooh, I love it already. Oh, the herb is cold. This is like a sea shanty? I can't sing sea shanties. Oh, I click on it. Oh, the herb is cold, or flake of white as a sailor begs their pledge. To the ice they will pray that leads reveal, out in the ice they will stake a claim, that in the dark they will embrace themselves. Oh, the herb is cold, or flake and white, a sailor begins to play, that in the dark they will embrace themselves, for horrors still ahead, of home they dream, to this house around, of glory found, of homes they dream, of warmth long lost and chased, to frost world's edge, a hunger draws the desperate here, it's one that can't be fed. What will you do when steel her breaks and chorus dust of scorn? I will do what must be done indeed. I will learn to live a life out here. I will lead this soul, so help the gods out of the play beyond. Hey, I managed to do it. Let's sing it again, shall we? Oh, the herb is cold of flake and white, a sailor begs their pledge, that in the dark they brace themselves for horrors still ahead, of homes that dream of warmth long lost and chase the frostward edge. A hunger draws the desperate here, it's one that can't be fed. What will you do when steel her breaks and courage dust of scorned? I will lead these souls to help the gods out of the pale beyond. Begin your journey. That was awesome. I managed to sing it. Did I record it, right? I did record it, right? Yeah, just in case. Temperance. Do I click anything? I see a sunken ship, but I don't know what to... Oh, okay. Fail beyond. Crew wanted. Able-bodied crew wanted for dangerous expedition Months of Darkness. Expedition, Months of Darkness, low wages, slim chance of safe return, glory to be had in the event of success, address over leave. Yeah, what about no? Wait, you're alone in the office. The tea in your hand has long since gone cold. I'd rather coffee. Looking around the room, you can make out a collection of military books. On the desk is a ship in a bottle. A metronome ticks away steadily. It's harmless, it's insufferable. You find it rather calming. The dedicated rhythm soothes the senses. It stops. You're waiting. You hear footsteps clanging the stairs that brought you here. Remain standing. The door behind you swings open. The captain bounds past you to the other side of the desk. Do you have all of your teeth? You bare your teeth to the man. Good. Can never be too careful. The captain sits down. It's the little things that you can lose people to. I've not had scurvy before. Are you speaking from experience? I have not had scurvy before. I have scurvy before, if that's what you're asking. There's more things to worry about than just scurvy. How many people have died under your supervision? I don't appreciate this line of questioning. More than I do care to admit. None. One of these two. None. Actually, well, mostly of all these games I managed to save everyone, but I don't appreciate this line of questioning. You will when you are on the ice. Hey, smooth transition, I like it. I'm Captain Hound. Shaw, the pleasure is mine, Robin Shaw. Robin Shaw. He nods. On your desk, which ship is that? Ah, this? The tail isn't she? Incredible. Incredibly. An old sailor's superstition. I hope you weren't waiting for too long. It's fine. It's fine. There's been a lot of candidates. Some good, some bad, interesting mix. I'm sure you understand the need for discretion. The other side that was glory to be had. It seems a bit convoluted for a sailing job. Keep listening. Months of darkness. Low wages. Slim chance of safe return. That didn't deter you, did it? Good work is hard to come back this day. It's to be expected, surely. Good work is hard to come by these days. Indeed, a venture like this, however. It's about more than just the money, isn't it? I have a few questions first. He looks down at his list of questions. Were you born a landlubber or a sea dog? Lamrus, saltborn, the ocean, the same as self. Mix, if I knew, I'd tell you I have been all over. I'm sorry? I'm sorry? I'm asking where you crawled out of. It's alright, we'll sort it there. The landlords are the born and raised within the imperial society. Raising in the colony cities, landborns appropriately spend much of their life and work within those cities. While it isn't unheard of, those who find themselves working at sea are rarely tasked with manual labor. The Saltborn are the son of the daughters of the sea, a solitary culture of sailors and whalers. The Saltborn are rarely away from open waters. The vast majority of sailing crews are made up of their ranks, though few are found in the position of officer. Mudwatch prove harder to place, a mix of salt and earth in their upbringing. Mudwatch tend to live as drifters, rarely belonging to any one group. As such, they tend to be well-traveled and well-experienced, but struggle to find acceptance and belonging. Oh, I like the mix. I'm a landlord. I'm from the city. But made my way to sea eventually. Military experience? Royal Admiralty. Sailed the merchant lines 12 years. Only evaded them. I have sailed the merchant lines 12 years. Sailed the merchant lines 12 years. Very good. What did you trade in? Fruits, mostly. Anything we could get our hands on. I knew better than to ask. Any better than to ask? Aye. Have you ever fired a weapon? No. Have you ever killed a man, directly or otherwise? No. You're not married, are you? Of course not. You better not have a dead witch. One must believe they will return to justify living in the first place. Alienes, and you are doing yourself a disservice. We are here to find the ship in that bottle. The Viscount. Heard of it? This is some kind of joke, right? No, lie to me. He clears his throat. 5 years ago, she set sail on a research expedition towards the Dead Peninsula. They were trying to find and study the absolute magnetic south. If they found it, they might have heard of them. Viscount. Strange name for a ship. Did they? Did they? Did they what? Did they find it? The magnetic south? I have no idea. She never came back. Her last known location was 200 miles south of land, presumably lost to the ice. 5 years is a bit of late for a rescue operation. They're probably dead. They're probably dead, my friend. Alive or not, the research is supposedly of extreme importance. That's right, this map is not Earth. It's another place. We are in an imaginary world. I love it. I believe this was going to be something about England or something. And now that I think about it, the bottoms that hold this, they have a special symbols on them. Almost like Celtic in nature. And we're supposed to be chasing that research? Exactly. I'm going to need more than rumors about lost ship if I'm putting my life at risk. Naturally, here's what we do know. Not one person or thing has been heard from the Viscount since its sphere left port. Until now? Until now. Someone was found who claims to have been on that ship. Where are they now? Dead, but their testimony seems to have outlived them. Those with more money than sense want that old ship. That's the job. If I don't pick the first mate, somebody else will, and... well... my judge of character got me this far. What of our crew? Quite a mix, a work in progress. Some I have known for years, they get in on trust and experience. Others, well, they interview. And impress you? That remains to be seen. We do have transport though. We'll be traveling on board the Temperance. She's a beauty, green wood, generational. Not many like itself these days. The Viscount and the Temperance. They are sister ships. Well together. Sent out into this world to die alone. Poetic. Indeed. I'd like to think one calls out for the other. The captain looks at the battleship. So, what do you think? It's worth it if there is a chance anyone's alive. So like you will need all the caves you can get. We will. The captain checks his watch. Anyway, I think I have heard enough. The captain stands up. We leave in a month. Roger that, Captain. Count me in. Welcome aboard, Shaw. I'm right here for this. Probably speaking. Don't you need more information? Know if I'm Captain worth his salt. I work with people, not professionals, not professions. I just want to trust a good carpenter than a cruel sailor to save me from drowning. But alas, I will see you on the Temperance. I got good feels about you, John. The feeling is mutual. The feeling is mutual. The captain makes his way to the door and you follow. Wow, this is super interesting so far. I love it. You arrive at the docks a month to the day. Before you lies a ship, the letters on its side read Temperance. Approach the Temperance. You walk the cobblestone to the boarding ship. Beside is a sharply dressed man overseeing the loading of cargo. Hello. He turns to you with a stern expression. You can feel his eyes assessing you. It's good to see someone else with land legs. You must be can't speak for first mate. He extends an arm. Richard Templeton, a pleasure. A pleasure. You accept his overall handshake. It's a considerate handshake. I shall be operating as the chief science officer on this expedition. I'm also the incumbent representative of our benefactor. Do, however, consider myself and my team and you and the captain's disposal. At you and the captain's disposal. What did you specialize in? Applied botany. Not much use for a botany on ice, is there? Mr. Templeton, I look forward to working together. I expect you to be up for the task. Some of the layabouts Hound hired are questionable at best. No doubt I need information on your duties. You are second only to Captain Hunt himself. Though I must warn you that you have quite a task ahead. The rabble I have spent the afternoon sorting are the same that you will have to whip into shape. Punctually, schedule. A strict adherence is what we need if this expedition is to succeed. I expect you to be the organized sort. You will not have been assigned the role otherwise. Oh my god. See, follow not to be unruly. I will do my best to keep them in line. I likely have more in common with the crew than I do yourself, Mr. Templeton. I doubt that will be much of an issue. We can only hope. But your role is more strenuous than it will first seem. Let me know when you are ready to depart. And make sure to savor these last moments on land. The less valuable time we waste here, the better. Interesting. The city. You will be gone for quite a while. It will be some time before you see the city again. Who is this guy? A young man stands at the ramp, steeling himself for the journey ahead. Hesitantly, he begins to drag his feet up the ramp and onto the ship. Anything else over here? Doesn't look like it. The Temperance. Wow, nice ship. We even have a steam thing, it looks like. Probably for the heat, for the entire ship, if we're going to go in the middle of winter. Hunter's description for the ship was accurate. Near identical to the Viscount, bearing some modern additions. I don't think I can do anything else here, so set sail. Oh, look at how beautiful this ship is. Wait, isn't the Temperance the ship that was sinking in the beginning? I think it was. This is gonna be bad, right? One week on the Temperance. Oh. Oh. The music. I love it. Sounds beautiful. Do I need to click? Yeah, sometimes I don't know if I'm clicking or the game is loading. Click, right click, enter, spacebar, escape. Okay, no, not escape. Is everything okay? There we go. Pale Beyond. It's been a month. A hunger draws to the desperate here. It's one that can't be fed. What will ye do when steel hearts break and courage does abscond? I will lead these souls so help the gods out of the pale beyond. First may show personal log. It's been 1 month since I signed on, and 1 week since we have set sail aboard the Temperance. I'm told the waters will get warmer as we pass the hemisphere before they turn colder. Who's paying for this? I can't help but wonder who's footing the bill for all this. Certainly not the captain. I shall investigate further. Let's investigate further. The Temperance. I have never been on a ship like this before. She's magnificent. An abomination. It's seaworthy. She's magnificent. A technical marvel. Elegant machinery is expertly waved through one of the fastest hardwood ships of its day. Reborn for this mission, breathing again with life, she's simply magnificent. As for his master, he's mostly kept to his quarters so far. I trust the captain. The captain seems a trustworthy sort. The captain seems trustworthy sort. Experience alone justifies his position. There aren't many who make out the other end of the naval military service with all their limbs, let alone his bigger. He's not telling the whole truth. I heard the rumors. Though he's impulsive. He seems prone to impulsivity. The man's day-to-day decision feels driven by instinct. Perhaps I'm too great to charge. As for the rest of the crew, there are now 22 of us, including the captain. Our next port will be our last before we enter the ice, to pick up the remaining 4 members of the crew, the scouting team. Hunt is also keen to work out a deal on a pack of sledding dogs. The crew are a strange lot. Eclectic is the ship itself. Sign out. One of Hunt's sailors approaches. Captain wants you at the helm. We'll head there now. He leaves. Interesting. Captain's cabin, crow nest. The crow nest currently stands unoccupied. The scouting team are expected to join at the port. Forecastle. Join Hunts at helm. You ascend the stair to the stern and find the old captain manning to the helm of the ship. Ah, Robin! Lovely day for it, isn't it? It is indeed, Captain. Indeed. It's day like this I make sure to do my share of the sailing. He winks. Let him continue. He thinks for a moment before stepping aside and stretching out a wrinkled hand. Did you ever take the helm in the merchant navy, or were you stuck carrying crates? Here, why don't you have a try? Take the wheel. You grip the wheel of the ship and feel the weight of the waves in your arms. Right-click to pan around. The memory in your muscles rear themselves as you begin to move in time with the ships and the wind. Oh, I love it. This is beautiful. Easy. There, you have it. The captain pats you on the back. Fantastic. Now try to get a sense of where we are. Get some perspective. Peaceful, is it? Oh. So everything is going to be around this ship? We are going to be moving all the time? Peaceful, isn't it? Panning and zooming the speed can be adjusted in the settings menu. Got it. He takes the wheel back from you. I think I will drink the morning in a little. I will drink the morning in a little longer. Would you mind preparing my quarters for the day's work? There is much to do. What is in the forecast? The first door appears to be locked. Okay, nothing there then. Captain's cabin. Interesting. Oh, you have a tub? A pristine furnished tub secured to the floor. A luxury to be had on the ice. What's this? I can see a painting depicting sailor doing battle with a kraken. You are unsure of its historical significance, though recognizing the ship as the galleon of Captain Hamish. On the decks you make out a variety of paper, notes and maps, as well as a seal later with a stamp you recognize as the mark of the Apperton Tining Corporation. The desk itself is suspended with ropes to keep it safely in place. Interesting. Take a request. You take a seat in the end of the room. The captain joins you. Now, let's run through our provisions before taking requests. To start, there are 23 souls signing on to this expedition, ourselves included. That's 16 free to be assigned to task, if they aren't already busy. The rest are deployed at their permanent stations. You are only able to employ crew you have discovered. They must be in good health and not otherwise deployed to another post. We'll be picking up the scouting crew at next port. The lot of us also seem to be in good spirits. The expedition will end, tearing itself apart if you end the week with no decorum left. We have enough provision for at least 6 months in case of emergency. If you cannot afford the minimum food rations at the end of the week, crew will become malnourished. Unless cured, the malnutrition status will develop into scurvy, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. Are more than enough fuel to see us there and back again. Colder temperatures will increase the minimal fuel requirements at the end of the week. If you cannot afford to maintain the fuel, the crew will become freezing. Unless cured, the freezing status will develop into frostbite, a severe status effect that prevents crew from working, eventually killing them at the end of the week. The sledding dogs, well, they're still a matter of negotiation. Dogs will be needed to send sliver teams out to gather resources on the ice. Sending hunts or out further requires a great amount of dogs. They will rest and become available between the weeks. Now on to work. Corbid, and Cordell. Cordell, have you agreed upon my conditions? To the point, huh? Shaw, this is Lady Cordell. Cordell here is to provide us with a kennel of hounds for the sleds. And our agreement was that she will train them up until we part ways at the nearest island, but you neglected to inform me that you were bringing my dogs through the Pale Passage. I had no intention of sending the pack to its death. You seem to have good faith in this expedition. It's one thing to ask for the whole kennel, it's another to drag them into the ice to chase a myth. Never before has a buyer been so dishonest. And never before has a seller made such strong demands. Lady Cornell? A moniker gives to me by the locals of the city, on account of her vernacular. I find it odd that you seem to have researched me as much as you have my kennel. I like to know who I'm negotiating with. Regardless, Shaw, she demands we allow her to come along on the expedition, as a member of the crew. None of these sheep had the experience or familiarity with these dogs that I possess. If you are taking them to such a brutal location, they will need me to guide them if they have any chance of survival. The humans on board too, of course. Of course. You can see my dilemma, Shaw. Bringing on another member of the crew is a risk, but our hands may be tied. Your thoughts? I don't see any harm in having an expert on the sled dogs. A good point, Shaw. He turns to her. This deal is already to your benefit. Do you have anyone on board with experience training in the management and ruling of dogs? Your sleds are useless if you can't control the dogs efficiently enough to hold them. And I will make to ensure my dogs are treated properly. Welcome aboard, Cordell. Your knowledge will sure prove valuable. Don't expect the crew to waste time taking care of your muds then. I heard your experience you claim, Cordell. No, welcome aboard. Welcome aboard. Invaluable. I will have a room prepared for you below decks. Max crew burden increased to 24. No need, you will find me in the forecastle with the dogs. She leaves. I hope I'm not making a mistake, Shaw. You have the same thing. 40 available dogs. A sailor enters. We have found a stowaway in the lower hold. Bring them in. Another sailor enters, leading a young man by their side. You know, you are not the first stowaway you have had. The captain studied them further. You know where we're headed, don't you? I do, sir. The ice. Did you know that before you climb inside that crate? I did, sir. Haha. How old are you? You're hardly a useful pair of hands. Not true, I can pull my weight, sir. Do you know your gibbon from the bowsprit? I do. I have learned it all from my dad. Your dad? His ward's son followed him on board back in the city. What shall we do with him, Captain? Well, Shaw? Hunt eyes show up. Your first mate, what should we do with him? It's a decision to make, not mine. I don't know, we could have another... We are basically going to a suicide mission, right? It's a decision to make, not mine. Aye, but I would like to hear your opinion. What sort of captain will I be if I didn't accept consultation? He's not staying on board. He's not staying on board. Aye? Ditch him with the export. We don't need more mouths to feed. Next time, leave them with enough money to catch a boat back to the city. Why could you just throw him overboard? Drop him off in the next port. Leave them with enough money to catch a boat back to the city. Leave them with enough money to catch a boat back to the city. I didn't think it pertinent to bring any money from a frozen desert, did you? Did you? Let's hope the boy father has enough to keep them going. The two sailors dragged the stowaway boy back below deck, taking him to see his father in the crew cabins. But what of the father? Should we drop him off with the boy? It's his son, that's for him to decide. Very well. Hopefully he doesn't care for the run that I'm not down a sailor. Well, that matters orders. Sorted. Yeah, we can take it. I'm not going to be responsible for the boy. Now that all is settled, I have one more errand for you to run. Could you grab the Stoke brothers and order them to meet up deck after dinner? Hefty hands, lads, red hair. You could mistake it for another. The Stoke brothers, who are they? You haven't met all the crew yet? The Stokes have been serving me for years. They will be down on the middle deck. In the meantime, you should grab a copy of the crew manifest and get acquainted with more of the crew. Roger that, Captain. It's already freezing. Join the figure balancing in the mast. Upon closer inspection, you make out the ship's photographer, Kasha Belford, balancing on the ship's mast with her camera, lining up a photo. How's the view up there? How's the view up there? No! Just started the moment causing her to fall, nearly dropped her camera. Help her down. Jesus, lady! Lady, are you okay? You help her retrieve the device and untangle herself from the rigging. That was a close shave, Officer Shaw. It's about time I met the first officer of this ship. Kasha Belford. Nice to meet you, Kasha. Nice to meet you, Kasha. I suppose there was some sort of rule against what I was doing up there. Deepest apologies, but sometimes there is a shot you just cannot pass up. An accomplished photographer, Kasha Belford won the Fettler Prize, the highest honor in journalism, for her work covering plague outbreaks and riots in the capital. It came as a surprise to make such a reputable journalist will take such an interest in this expedition. There was scarcely any chance of the benefactor turning her away. You expect someone of her accolades to be older, more experienced. This is likely for her first time on the sea like this. Her accomplished surely overweight her young. Hair proof is all we have. Unless we devise a way to bring the Viscount back with us, her proof is all we have. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Sounds fine to me, I think. Sounds fine to me, I like it. For the piece of this voyage, I'm trying to come up with a snappy name. Nobody will read it if the title sounds like the work of an amateur. The cold game. Picture that as a header. Kasha places a finger on her chin, squinting her eyes in tow. It's not perfect, but it's work in progress. Plenty of time. We haven't even hit the ice yet. It's just also exciting already. I suppose in your experience, the open ocean is the home of the mundane. Though I suppose you never traveled this far south on the merchant lines. You know who I am? You have that right. You have that right. That's a shame, looking out at the open ocean. I don't know how anyone could find it dull. It's no wonder the great explorers like Kirk Darling will always come back to it. That reminds me, he will be joining us on our next port. I should get his picture at some point. Kasha holds up her camera with a sense of pride before holding it up to her face. Stand still, Shaw. I hope he got a good picture. I feel like the transitions are too slow. Like, can I change them for something? Like, text size, disable decorum, game over. No. Panning speed, zooming speed. No, these are the achievements. No, there is no way to change that. Okay, got it. The captain sent me to grab a copy of the manifest. How long do they take to develop? Actually, that's a good question. How long do they take to develop? 1 day or two. I made makeshift darkroom in the hold. Speaking of photographs, she hands you an annotated document. Here it is, the crew manifest. Ooh, thank you. Killian Mursanders, Emilia Corris Sparrow. Emilia, it's a girl. Take a look at that. And Joseph Joe Green. And there are a couple more sailors. Okay, got it. Wait, scouts, engineers, scientists, specialists? What the... Oh, it's me, Robin Joe. Photographer, landowner, science officer, landborn, Captain Mudwatch, Icy Shabby. Resource cards, key items, camera, report and the crew manifest. Accordion, criminal corner, a welding instrument, turn into care. I see. Sailor, and sailor. Everybody Ice Shabby. Take a look at all of this. This is amazing. The amount of things in this game. Holy moly macaroni. Well, thank you. How do I put it back? There we go. It's a work in progress. The scout team are to join us at the next port, and the captain forbid me from the boiler room. If you could ask the others to get their portraits taken, I'd be grateful. Very grateful. Don't want to leave anyone out. The mask again, and you will remove from the camera. No, thank you, Gasha. Thank you, Gasha. She smiles. I will not disturb you of your work any further, officer. I have a few more shots I wanted to get before the sun lowers, anyhow. Safe shots, officer. Don't worry. You leave her to her work. Interesting. 2 Johns. Descend below deck. 2 Johns. You spot a large man with a jawful gait, carrying a heavy crate over his shoulder with relief sense. Oh, you're Officer Shaw. He gives a bright, warming smile. 2 Johns. That's what they call me. I'm sure you will get your nickname later. 2 Johns attempts to offer you a handshake, but loses control of the crate. He struggles before firmly holding it in place with both hands. Ah, maybe later. Work awaits. John added to manifest. He's a sailor, isn't he? Yep. He's salt-born and a sailor. Interesting. Oh, this game is looking beautiful. I feel bad for not taking the child in, but I'm like, I can't take the child in. He will probably die, and we need all the food we can... Whoa, okay, you can move inside here too. Let's go even down. Oh, here they are. Red hairs. This game is beautiful. How much time have I recording though? Oh my god, 38 minutes. Okay, let us talk with these 2 guys, and then we will end the episode. You find yourself on knocking over a man carrying a heavy pot. Careful, careful! You almost got drenched in broth. Apologize, I'm a rush and request for hunt. Apologies, I'm in a rush and request for hunt. For hunt? Is there an issue with the ship? No, he just wanted to find Stoke Brothers for a meeting. He's wanted to find the Stoke Brothers for a meeting. Not surprised. Those 2 are the only ones who know what's going on board this bloody ship. You hear a roll from the other side of the door. Oi, what's holding you up? The cook shakes his head with a smile and chuckles slightly to himself. He grabs the large pot and prepares to make his way to the hungry crew before turning his head to you. If you don't mind, could you carry this tray of whiskers behind me? Yeah. You grab the plate and follow the cook out the door to the table where the crew are waiting with bated breath. Upon the cook's arrival, the sailors let out a rowdy cheer, the ship's cook placing the broth upon the table. Trust me, fellas, this one is worth the wait. The cook speaks with a tone of pride as he ladles the broth into the bowls of the crew. Oi! One at a time, you animals! What you're awfully handsomely for only 1 arm. Ah, piss off, Junior. Got some bread here too. Grab it fast, Tucker's beats it to you too, sir. Beats you to it. The crew laughs and as our merry as Junior guides you back through the kitchen. You're Junior, why didn't you tell me earlier? You seem popular. Well, you know what they say about the hands that feeds. Sighed half the crew. I have known for years. You don't spend that much time on a ship with folk without learning all about them. We weren't properly introduced. Robin Shaw, right? I have been keeping track of all the new crew. Short and Stokes, but nobody calls me that. You will hear them all call me Junior. You should do the same. No idea why Hunt picked someone he's never worked with as first mate. But you seem a helpful sort, glad to have you aboard. Well, Hunt wishes to see you as soon as possible. Ah, yes, good old Hunt. Never rest on this ship, let me tell you. Especially when Hunt takes a liking onto you. Okay, one is done. Call the crew for dinner. Everyone, to eat. The crew have their meal. It passed in relative silence. It's the evening. The crew return to their posts. The hammocks are unfurled in preparation for the evening. Twilight falls. Oh, who are you two? Oh, over dinner you overhear the Stoneway speaking with one armed man. You will drop off in the next port then. Dad, you can talk to the captain into letting me stay, right? Can't talk Hunt into anything when it's mine. Besides, he's alright. But I can help. You're lucky he didn't throw you overboard. When we made land, I'm making sure you catch a trip back home. I'll be back after this. Not soon enough. Okay, yeah, but boy, you can't be here. What's over here though? Who are you? Mr. Gloss. You spot one of Templeton's science team pacing around the mid-deck, searching through some luggage that has been pulled from the cabin. Let me look in the light. Where was it now? He noticed you. Ah, Officer Shaw, correct? Do I lie closely? Apologize, I can see to have misplaced something while settling the cabin. A bottle of wine, actually. Can't be hard to miss. It will turn up eventually. Can't be hard to miss. It will turn up eventually. I will hope so. My wife and I brought a bottle to celebrate with. To be safe for the journey back, of course. Well, if you find it, please let me know. Roger that. Nobody else is in here, then. Enter your cabin. Ooh. Open your journal. Interesting. Going up. The ocean. As you look over the railing of the ocean, a wisp of smoke flies past your face. You turn to examine and spot a sailor with a pipe in his mouth and a sheet of paper in his hand, overlooking the steering waters. Ooh, mysterious. Looking at something. Who are you? Not many sailors can read or write. What's the letter? A letter. All you need to know. Tashi. After introducing himself, Tashi falls silent and begins to read the letter. Trying to draw a conversation from him may be similar to extracting teeth. Okay, another one. Templeton! You spot Templeton looking out into the sunset. If you approach, he turns to you and nods. Ah, Officer Shaw. It will be some time before we see a sunset such as this again. The light distribution towards the southern port is quite a change. I have noticed you weren't at dinner with the others. I prefer to eat in solitude. I have my own cabin, and I make use of it. Templeton keeps his focus on the reflection of the setting sun over the steering waters of the ocean. There is great expectation upon us, officer. From who? Who is the benefactor? Who is this benefactor of ours? That is not for you to know, not yet. Templeton looks down, catching his reflection in the ocean surface. He looks back up at the sunset. Quite a sight, but I wouldn't linger upon it too long. We should retire for the evening. It's important the first officer will be well rested. Hold E to advance to the next. Okay. Got it. Oh, food rations and minus 48! The fuel spent on the week, normal. Half. Oh boy. Let us go for normal now, because I feel like we don't have a problem yet. But that depleted almost half of it. Rand said the ship makes it port to work as our Corporal Sling dogs are picked up. Scouting crew and crew are picked up. The days are getting brighter as you move further south. Okay. This was interesting. 2 weeks on the Temperance. Okay. Save game to 3. Got it. So, ladies and gentlemen, this is all the time I have for today. Thank you very much everybody for watching. I hope you had a blast. I was still Australia, signing out. Bye bye. This game is awesome.